Hi everyone, Anthony Morganti here. If you've been paying attention to the new Lightroom tutorials that have been posted to YouTube over the past couple months, you probably know that there is this great new sky masking technique. I became aware of it a couple months ago because several people emailed me pointing me to this video by the photographer Brian Matiash, where he mentions that he discovered this great method and he wanted to share it, and he explains how to do it. Well, some of those people that emailed me wanted me to do a video on it, and I really didn't want to do a video that would steal views away from Brian because he came up with the method. So instead, I wrote about it in my newsletter, and I included Brian's video in my newsletter. If you haven't read this issue of my newsletter, I'll have a direct link to it in the description below this video so you could read what I wrote about it. After that newsletter went out, several people emailed me saying that they didn't think Brian came up with this method, that this photographer, Tom Dominey, did because his video came out like a month before Brian's. And really, it doesn't matter who came up with it then. They both could have came up with it independently of one another. It is an interesting method, and if you read my newsletter, you know that I was positive. I thought it worked very well. Well, after using it a while and actually kind of pixel peeping and comparing it a little closer to the original method, I don't think it works as well. In today's video, I want to try to explain that. Now, again, if you haven't read what I wrote about it in the past, I'll have a link to this in the description below this video, and I have a link to Todd's video as well. Now, I'm going to refer to Todd's method as the new method, and the original Lightroom mask is the original method, all right, so that you know what I'm talking about. And I have several different images I want to show you both methods on. This is one of the images I used or I talked about in my newsletter, and I mentioned that it seems to work best on an image such as this, where you have like a lone kind of structure jutting up into the sky like a tree without any leaves on it. It seems to work best on an image such as this, compared to an image such as this, where you have a lot of leaves in the sky. It doesn't work as well on this type of image, and I'm going to demonstrate that to you in this video. Now, in order to do this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a virtual copy of this image, and we're going to do the new method on one image and the original method on the other image. So to make a virtual copy on a Mac, you hit Command apostrophe. On a PC, it's Control apostrophe. So I have two of the exact same image. I'm going to select both of them in the film strip by holding the Command key down and clicking on that second one. Of course, it's the Control key on a PC. So we have them both selected. On the right-hand panel, I'm going to have Auto Sync on. So I'm going to go up to Masking, and I'm going to create a sky mask. So I have the exact sky mask on both of these images. But I want to do the new method on one of these images, so I'm going to deselect this second image so that I just have the original image selected. And on the original image, I'm going to apply the new method. The new method, if you haven't heard about it, is you apply a sky mask like I just did, and then you subtract from the sky mask another sky mask. So you're left without a mask. Then what you do is where it says Sky 2, click on the three dots and go to Invert. Now, this is our new improved sky mask. And actually, if you zoom in, it may look like it's a little better, like around the tree branches. And to maybe demonstrate that, this is the original method. I'll take exposure all the way down. You can see how it's on top of some of these branches. Let's go to the new method image. So this is the new method. I'll take exposure all the way down. And you may look like it's a little better. We have a little more definition, or a little more, we could see some of those branches up there a little better. The problem, though, is that in some instances, you'll get more haloing with the new method than you will with the original method. So let's reset the exposure here. So we're right back to just our mask with no adjustments on both images. So this is the original image, right? The original method, the original whatever. Let's go to point color. And let's do an adjustment to the blue sky. So I'm going to click up here in the top right-hand corner. So I got the blue sky. And I'm going to take luminance shift down a lot, like more than you normally would, like -70. And I got to remember that number. And let's put saturation at +70 so it's easy for me to remember. So this is like this deep blue sky on the original sky mask, all right? 70 for plus 70 for saturation, minus 70 for luminance. Now let's do the exact same thing on this new method. So again, I'm going to get the eyedropper, click on that blue sky in the top right-hand corner, and then again, I'm going to move luminance down to minus 70, and oops, exactly minus 70, and saturation to plus 70. All right, there. All right, we have the same exact adjustment on both. So I'm going to close masking down on both of them. All right, they're both closed. Now let's zoom in on the image, like right here. So we're zoomed in. This is the original mask. Looks pretty good, right? Here's the new method. Here's the original method. Here's the new method. All right, let's zoom in a little more. Let's zoom in like right in here. Okay, so we're zoomed in at a ridiculous amount. This is the new method. You can see there's some haloing right here. See it around these branches? There's haloing. Let's go to the original method. You see there's a tiny bit of haloing, but there's less. The original method actually worked better if you want to pixel peep. All right, granted, we're like splitting hairs, all right, because one works really as well as the other. But again, if you go here, here's the original method. We have a bit of haloing right here, and then right around here, it kind of goes away, and there's no haloing, no haloing. But then if we go to the original method, we have that haloing, and it continues up, and there is some haloing there, some haloing up in here. I don't know if you could see it in the video. There's haloing here, and it's reduced. There's no haloing here on the original, but there is haloing on the new method. All right, let's go to this image and let's zoom out. Now this is an image that I wouldn't expect it to work as well because we have all these tree branches with leaves on those branches jutting up into the sky. So again, I'm going to make a virtual copy. I'm going to hit that Command apostrophe on my Mac. I'm going to select both images. I have auto sync on. I'm going to apply the same exact sky mask to both images. All right. We're going to deselect that virtual copy, that second image. And now I'm going to do this new method to this image. I'm going to go to subtract the sky. Then I'm going to go to sky 2 and invert it. All right. Now we have this new mask on here. And just for demonstration purposes, let me take exposure all the way down. So this is the new mask. Let me go to the original mask and take exposure all the way down. All right, you can see around these leaves, there's less haloing than there is with the new method. So that's the new method. There's the original method. New method, original method. And what is probably happening, though, with the original method, it may be masking some of the leaves, and we really don't want it to, whereas the new method isn't masking the leaves. But the problem is there's still going to be more haloing. Now, in most instances, again, I'm splitting hairs. Let me reset this. In most instances, with your normal adjustments, you're not going to see a difference. There's not going to be a difference. So you're going to add some clarity. Maybe you'll add some texture. You want this dramatic sky, right? And you'll add some dehaze. Is dehaze even doing it? Then there it goes. Go while they kick in. So we're going to add some dehaze. So we have 28, 48, and 14. Now we'll go to the original method and we'll reset the tone. And we'll go back to effects and we're going to add some, what was it again? What did I add? 28, 48, and 14. 28, 48, and 14. Okay, so this is the original method. Here is the new method. Original method, new method. Let's zoom in on the area of interest. First, I got to close masking down, sorry. And zoom in here. All right. So this is the new method. Let it render the original method. New method, original method. Looks pretty much the same to me. All right. maybe these trees off in the distance that are less resolute. Let's go in here like craziness, okay? So this is the original method. Here is the new method. Let it render. Kind of see this haloing here? Let's see if that's in the original method. And it's still there. It's pretty much the same, maybe just slightly less haloing in the original method compared to the new method. All right. Let's go to this image. This is the image that I wrote about in my newsletter, saying that it doesn't work as well on an image like this. Again, we're going to make a virtual copy. We're going to select both of those images in the film strip. We're going to make sure auto sync is on. We're going to apply a sky mask to both. I'm going to deselect the second one, so I'm going to do the new method only on the first image. So we're going to subtract the sky, then we're going to invert sky 2. All right. And then what we'll do here is we'll go to tone, and I'll just show you this way by taking exposure all the way down, and then go to that original image that just has the single sky mask, the original sky mask, and take exposure all the way down. And you could see that the selection's a little tighter with the original method compared to the new method. But again, I don't think it's going to matter once you do a real adjustment to it, like something you might really want to do, like you might want to add like some texture, like something like that. So we have 25 and 38. And go to effects and you get 25-ish, 38. All right. There's the original method. Close this down. And there is the new method. Original method, new method. Let's zoom in here. All right. The new method, original method. New method, original method. Look pretty much the same to me. All right, I saved the best for last. We have this image of the dragonfly on a stick, and then we just have blue sky. All right, make the virtual copy. We'll select both in the film strip. We'll apply a sky mask to each, just like that. Now I'm going to deselect the second one, so I'm only on the first original image, and we're going to apply the new method to this. I'm going to subtract the sky. I'm going to invert sky 2. I'm going to come in with tone just to show you the haloing there. This is the original one with the single mask. And you could see here that with the new method, the mask isn't on the stick at all, but we have more haloing around the stick. Whereas with the original method, the mask is a little bit on the stick, but there really isn't any haloing, as you could see, but there's less haloing overall. And now, just like that. Now, let's for both of them. Let's just reset that. Now, when I did that, actually, I accidentally had auto mask on and applied the new method mask to the second one. So I'm going to reset that and then just apply a normal sky mask to that. We have the new method mask on this. So what we're going to do is just like something that you might really do to this. Let's say point color again, and we'll click on that blue sky and we'll do something a little more realistic. Like maybe saturation to 30 and maybe luminance down to -30. And then for this one that has the single mask on it, we will get that, click on the blue sky. We'll do saturation to 30, luminance to -30. All right, so close down masking. So here's the new method, and here is the original method. I think there's less haloing on the original method. Let me zoom in right in here. All right, this is the original method. Look around the head of the dragonfly, and here is the new method. I don't know. They're so close. There might be just a little bit more haloing around the new method compared to the original method. But I mean, they're just pretty close. So, all right. I really hated to be a negative Nancy, but I mean, overall, it may work better on an image or two here or there, but I think the original sky mask in Lightroom works fine. And in most instances, or in some instances, will have less haloing than the new method. So take that for what it's worth. I really do appreciate everyone who watches my videos. Thank you. And those of you that email me and let me know about these new videos and keep me in the loop, I appreciate that. I would have never noticed these videos if someone didn't email me letting me know about them, because I typically don't watch Lightroom how-to videos and stuff like that. But I do appreciate it. But like I said, it's worth trying, definitely, on some images and see if it works, but don't automatically assume it's going to work better and only do it without trying the original method as well. Thank you. I'll talk to you guys soon.